So, hey guys, Nicholas here, and welcome back to another reaction video. Sort of. So today I'm going to be talking about the new Will Ryan / DAGames song. It's a Will Ryan original, so I guess it technically doesn't count as a DAGames song, but it's, it's the same guy. If I sound any different at all right now, I am using a different mic for this. This is actually the mic I use for recording my guitars and vocals in my own music. But yeah, Join the Bloodline is what this song is called. When the song initially came out, I did actually record a reaction to it. However, while I was thoroughly impressed by the song and did really like it, I was also a little overwhelmed because there's a lot going on in the song and I wasn't quite able to put my thoughts into very coherent words. As such, I decided to actually edit through my initial reaction footage and then come back here, and I'm going to do kind of a reaction / review / kind of analysis type video. I've listened to the song a few times since. I do have my guitar because most of the riffs in this song are definitely outside of my skill level. I'm not going to be using it for this video. There is actually a story to this. One of the previous Will Ryan originals he released, Know Your Place, had I think it followed, this is kind of a different part of the same story, I believe, this song specifically, and it had this exact same description actually, but here's a clip of me reading it from the original reaction anyways.
In a world plagued by corrupted empires and dystopian livelihood, a new island has been auctioned to a multi-millionaire, of which erupted into a gladiatorial feast of violence for those who wish to see those in power now turned into prisoners, pit to their deaths in Colosseum-sized killing games. Wow. I already know all about this little bit because Know Your Place was very heavily about this. In fact, I think it had the same description actually. Ran under the vengeful ruling of Madden Rodham. Shepherding the operation is his son, Xavier Rodham, who became a figurehead piece for the world to look onward to in these killing games, to look out for the people who have been made to rule their lives are important.
Although, the way, let's just go ahead and let's get to this here. Yeah, so right away, like, when did this turn into an analog horror video? So the following video includes disturbing imagery, bright flashing lights. If anyone is photosensitive or epileptic, you might want to proceed with caution with this. Also, don't ask me who this face is. I'm not as familiar with the lore and story behind this whole Solitude universe thing that he's making. So I don't really know exactly who all these characters are or anything. If any of you would be willing to kind of give me an in-depth summary of it in the comments, feel free to. I'd actually very much appreciate it, but yeah. Viewer descriptions.
Are you ready?
Yeah, we're not even like 5 seconds into the song and already there's a lot of interesting things to talk about. I love it when you do like when heavy songs have a little like spoken intro at the beginning and then just go right into the song. And I really love the drum fill there. This is it. The song's in a shuffle rhythm.
Ready?
Yeah, so you don't get to hear as much of the instrumental there because he screams over most of it, but there's a really cool lead part in there. Already you get an idea of the mood of this song. It's gonna be, you can tell right away it's gonna be intense and it's gonna be a huge, epic, bombastic song. And then, of course, the little transition there he does. He did a vocal similar to that in Madman, another song by him. Just balls to the wall intense here. You might have heard a little bit at the end there's a lot of synth sounds and stuff. This is very much kind of like an industrial metalcore type of thing. Also, I want to say just how good his growls are in this song, especially later. You're gonna see, if you haven't already heard this, brace yourself for later because it gets nuts. before we get to the chorus here. Already we demonstrated a cool thing right there. Obviously the song goes back and forth between heavy screaming parts and singing parts. But also there was a bit of a, not quite a key change, but kind of a key change. You hear it at first and it makes you think it's gonna be a key change, but then he goes back to the initial chord that he started with. I think that's really cool. He does it a few more times throughout the song. It's used really effectively during the bridge, which we'll get to later. I love the little harmonic, the high harmonic sound, the squealy that he adds in there. Some of the lyrics do have a bit of a almost like propaganda brainwashy feel to it, like with the "Join Us in the Bloodline" theme. And some of the imagery in the video messes around with that idea a bit, but I'm not 100% certain as to really what the story of the song is. I can gather bits and pieces of it, of course, but obviously we know from the description of the video there's people who are being put into these kind of killing game type of things. And my guess, I'm gonna talk about this a bit more, but I definitely get a vibe like there's some sort of kind of propaganda going on with them kind of trying to convince people to join into this. Hence the whole like "join us in the bloodline" thing. I think it's just cool how the chorus goes back and forth between singing and screaming. And it's still very melodic and effective. Also, this imagery here, there's a lot of this throughout the video with the cogs and chains and stuff is really that second half of the chorus is genuinely my favorite part of it, honestly. I was not prepared for that when I first listened to it. Here's a clip. Uh-oh. Here's where things really start to get kind of confusing story-wise for me. This lifeless corpse is losing blood. He cannot fall. Strap him up. Do not let him flatline. And then it goes into the "bring me their blood" lyric. I don't know who these people here are. It gives me the vibe, though, with these lyrics, and then the way it immediately goes into the, like, brutally heavy with the blast beat thing. It gives me the feeling that these people are being killed in these killing games, and then somehow brought back to life. That way these people can continue these killing games, because obviously they're benefiting from them. They're getting like money and stuff like that from it. So my guess is that they're trying to keep these people alive so they can keep torturing them and putting them through these games. The imagery here is, I'm not even gonna try to understand that aspect, but obviously this is really cool imagery. Of course, whoever made this stuff, whoever it is who made the lyric video, they did a really good job with it. And I just want to acknowledge the creativity of this part. I think it's all in the same time signature, but he really messes around with timing. And it's also cool that instead of just going straight blast beat the entire time, he goes back and forth between blast beat and then not blast beat and then blast beat again. But see, once it gets to that part right there, it also gives you the feeling of machinery like beeping and pulsing.
Kill 'em with kindness, better than black.
I want to really point out here how creative he is with the heavy parts in this song. He does a lot of different interesting things with them. Like, really, I feel like this is probably one of his most creative heavy songs so far. And I can also say with confidence this is most likely his heaviest song. Is it the song with the most amount of screaming versus singing? Probably not, but the song is so intense and powerful and heavy and just crazy that even though it's not the song that has the most screaming in it, it definitely feels the most heavy to me. So you get to hear the lead on its own here, and to me it really sounds like open string hammer-ons. It's a really cool lead part, really cool melody. Okay, why are these appearing? What? We're not even close to the end of the song yet. We've still got like a minute and a half left. Anyways, this is one of my favorite parts of the song. I really love the chord changes here. It makes you think it's a key change at first, and he's done this a couple more times in the song. Makes you think it's a key change at first, but then it goes back to the initial chord. It just sounds so cool in my opinion. And then the melody he chooses to sing, and the harmonies and the way he sings it, and then the way it goes into the same thing afterwards, the same lyrics but screamed instead. It's just so cool. And then of course what happens after it, you'll see in a second. If you haven't already heard this song, brace yourself. I was not ready for that when I first listened to this song. Here's what my initial reaction was. So of course that's a very brutal breakdown. He does the kind of messing around a little bit with timing again here, even though it's still all in the same time signature, of course. And then of course the really low guttural growls that he does in there. I actually really like Will's gutturals because they don't have quite the same sound that traditional gutturals have. But as a result, instead of feeling like a growl or a scream, it feels more like some sort of harsh, evil, demonic chant of some sort. And I just think it sounds really badass, especially in the way he uses it during the second half of the breakdown, which we'll get to here. That same mask image was in the Know Your Place lyric video as well. And then whoever the hell this horrifying thing is. Told you. See what I'm saying though? His gutturals there really feel like a chant. And it's always great to see him use more of those in his music. To the chorus again, and I really love the way he sings it a little differently with the really high notes in there. But who the hell is this? Then key change again, and again some really nice high notes in there. Excellent ending. This was a lot of fun to record. I think it's pretty clear how I feel about this song, but just for my final thoughts here, I really love this song. It's so well done. It's very creative. I love the way I've said this a bunch of times already, but he messes around with keys and timing and stuff in this, and then of course the way he does all the heavy sections. Each heavy section has a distinct feeling to it. There's all sorts of interesting things going on throughout the song. Then of course good mix of screaming, a lot of really solid singing parts, catchy melodies and everything. Let me know what you think of the song, what you thought of my thoughts on the song, I guess, in the comments if you want to. That's up to you. Feel free to correct me on anything I got wrong and inform me, educate me about the universe that these songs take place in, because obviously I'm really just here for the music, but I'd love to know more about the story and the lore, the universe that this takes place in. Although, the way, if you guys have enjoyed this reaction, be sure to leave a like and do all that crap if you want to. That's up to you, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that ends up being. I know uploads have been kind of all over the place recently. My motivation has kind of been up and down, so I'm not sure what my next video will be or when it'll be, but I look forward to see you guys in whatever it is. Although, the way, peace out, and don't be afraid to show who you are.